What if you guys were able to 10x your real estate investing business, all by joining a community of real estate investors and using a unique way of investing in real estate, creative financing, and subject to in order to buy free foreclosures? Well, I know it probably sounds hard to believe, but tonight I've got two special guests with me, Jonathan and Sergio. They're two real estate investors out of Dallas, Texas that joined the Go Getter family, and they just knocked down 3 deals this month. So I brought them on here tonight to just ask them some questions about their journey. They were serious real estate investors before joining the Go Getter family, and now they were just able to scale that. So I want you guys to hit that like button. And if you feel like we bring you some value tonight, I want you to consider subscribing, right? Or you can just be a player about it. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. Hustle to the end, we some no-quitters. Knock it out the park, we for show hitters. Right, left hemisphere, that's a dome splitter. Yeah. We control our own destiny. Make moves, cultivate whole legacy. Creative finance, bring more ecstasy. The right ingredients, now that's a dope recipe.
Okay, what's up, fellas? So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jonathan and Sergio. They're two real estate hitters out of Dallas, and they've come on tonight to talk to us about their journey in real estate investing and learning some new strategies. So, what's up, fellas?
What is up? What is up?
All right. Yo, man, I'm super hyped to have you guys on the YouTube channel. We've been working together, doing some deals. We're doing 2 deals in Dallas right now. I'm super excited about. So I want you guys to real quick give us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and what got you into real estate.
Go ahead, John.
All right. So hey guys, so my name is Jonathan Araki. So I'm originally from Colombia, and actually I moved to Dallas like a year and a half ago. And just because I knew Dallas is it's a lot of business in here, right? So I live in Wisconsin before, and actually I worked as a bartender for 5 years slash investing in real estate, right? So I was saving all the money from my tips, and I started buying mobile homes. I started flipping mobile homes because it was a cheaper entry, right? So I was buying mobile homes for like $5,000, $10,000, and then double my investment in a matter of a month or 2 months, right? So that's how I started accumulating my capital, and then started doing the same with single families. And then, man, excited because I just want to scale, go to a different level. That's why I moved to Dallas. Okay. We're purchasing also multifamily, and then again, we're doing as a team right now. That's why Sergio is my partner. We do these things together because I don't want to do this alone. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah, it's easier to do it with a running mate, man. But that's interesting that you said you moved here and you were waiting tables and saving your tips to get into real estate, man. So did you always know that you wanted to get into real estate?
Yeah, man. I actually, my grandparents in Colombia, they own couple apartments. So they are retired already. So they were living from that money that was coming in, and I wanted to do the same, right? So by my first 2 years living in the US, actually have 6.5 years living here in the US, and my first 2 years I was saving because my goal was to buy a couple apartments in Colombia, maybe go back and then live off back from that money, right? But the company that I invest the money with, because it was COVID times, they declared themselves in bankrupt, so I kind of lost all the money. So
really,
yeah, that's when I decided to maybe Colombia is not the answer, man. So I started educating myself and, learning how to invest here in the US, and the rest is history.
Well, now you're a real estate hitter, man. That's definitely an inspiring story. And we got a lot more to talk about, but I want to go up there to Sergio and hear a little bit about your background, Sergio, and what got you into real estate investing.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? My name is Sergio Aguilar, and I like to tell everybody and just start my intro off with saying I'm a first generation Mexican American. Yes. Because I take a lot of pride in that. And just like everybody that migrates from the across the border in Mexico, our parents just want what's good for us, what's best for us. So I'm fortunate to be born in this country, right? Taking advantage of the American dream, which as a first generation Mexican American son, our parents just want us to go to college, graduate high school, go to college, and get a 9 to 5, and get in debt with the house, start a family, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm in my journey, I got my fortunate enough. I graduated high school. I got my bachelor's degree in construction management from the University of Texas in Arlington.
Okay.
And I finally joined the rat race. I finally joined, the 9 to 5. I joined corporate America, and this was about 5-6 years ago, and I was like, damn, I'm here, and this is what I'm gonna do till forever, right? The goal was always to learn from corporate America and then bring back the skills from the family owned and operated business that my dad's got. He started a concrete business in the year 2000. So the journey was always to go learn elsewhere, come back and bring it, and work with the family. Well, in the middle of this, maybe about 4 years ago now, 3-4 years ago, I knew that a salary wasn't going to cut it. I wanted more. I really wanted to do something about that. So I just got into real estate. My dad owns a house. He owns a house, and he had 3 properties as far as like acres, like we call them ranches in Spanish.
Okay.
Ranches, right. So he had so I saw the potential in that, and I knew, my mind just kind of started going, damn, my dad, dad's got 2 houses. Maybe shit, if he rents one out, you're making some money.
Yeah.
So then I started researching, man. I started researching and then I came across this ad on Facebook with learning how to buy apartment complexes. And at this point, I didn't think I was going to be able to do this. I was like, man, this is impossible. What is a Mexican going to be doing buying a multifamily, right? So I just do it. I go to the course, to the seminar. I've never bought a ticket. I've never bought a plane ticket before. I've never learned how to book a hotel. We were poor growing up, right? We were just low. We were middle class, and we just lived, right? We were just fighting to survive. And I called a friend up and I said, hey, can you help me, help me book this flight? I don't know how to do it. I got to go to Miami, and this is where the event is. She helped me out. And that at that event, which was December 2019, that's where I met Jonathan. That's where I met Jonathan, and my life just kind of changed from there. I mean, we roughed it out and stuck together. And as he said, the rest is history.
Yes, that's a dope story, man. I didn't know you two met at a live event. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that was just 4 years ago. So you guys are relatively new to real estate investing then.
I would like to say I'm pretty new. John was doing some real estate before me, but I don't know what new is. I don't know what that benchmark of how many years, but I would say I'm new.
We're like new OGs. We're like new OGs at this point, I think. Because look, Jonathan's like, I love that.
I'm gonna throw him under the bus now.
I mean, you guys go out there and get after it, and then even with the deals that you just done this past month, like those are deals that most people can't do. And plus, you guys own units already, multifamily, single family, right? Didn't you guys just close on like 130 unit deal or something crazy like that?
133 units.
Yeah.
Hey, 133. That's right. Get those numbers right. I love to be corrected on those numbers, damn it. So I mean, that had to be a big accomplishment for you guys. Sergio starting out this was his first time buying a plane ticket, had to call a friend to get you down to Miami, but that was because you wanted something different. Jonathan, you're saving tips with the intention of getting into real estate investing. And if you think about that, the traditional way of needing 20 to 25% down and saving tips, I mean, that could damn near take a lifetime unless you truly are, a go-getter and you're going to make a way at that time with what you have right then, not what you think you should have, but what you have at the time until you get what you want, And so I definitely respect that. So with that said, tell me, man, what was one of the biggest, I guess, kind of struggles that you guys had going into real estate? Because you guys got unique stories. So whoever wants to take it, go for it.
I'm gonna start first, real quick, John. And I think mine was, man, I didn't know it was illegal. I mean, and I don't know, maybe it's a minority thing. It was just so illegal to invest into yourself, into people, into mentorships. So that was really. I mean, once I went to that event and I dropped almost $1,000 on, and I thought I was getting scammed. I put it on a credit card. I didn't have much money coming in. maxed out my car doing it. Actually, I
Yeah.
just, my struggle was not knowing how to freaking cut my time in half. Because just like you mentioned earlier, people would take, you know, their lifetime saving up for a down payment on single family homes. And I did
Mm-hmm.
that math. I was like, man, how much do I need? And I'm asking all my realtor friends, how much do I need to get a duplex? Duplex,
Mm-hmm.
400, 500,000. Like, man, that's kind of steep for me right now. At that time, right? I wasn't raising no capital. I wasn't doing anything, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that skill set yet. But I was just kind of like, man, how the hell, how do I get there fast, man? I'm not about to spend 20 years just trying to figure this shit out, and I just don't have that time. I got to find
Right.
that way. So I think the first thing was finding the right people to surround myself with,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like individuals like yourself, Gene, finding somebody that's going to mentor me through this, someone I can trust, someone that's going to, steer me the right way, because that's
Mm-hmm.
huge, right? That's huge. I mean, you can either do this alone and figure it out and make all these mistakes, or you can learn from somebody else where they're going to
Mm-hmm.
help cut your time in half, right? And help you scale and grow faster. So that was one of my things and my struggles is who's that individual who's not going to scam me, who I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
invest in, that's going to hold my hand and teach me,
Mm.
and is gonna help me cut that time in half. Was
Mm.
the problem, man. I mean, we've invested in a lot of coaching programs where, I mean, we got burnt. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I was literally just going to ask you if you've been scammed
Oh
before.
yeah, yeah. We've been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you consider scammed. I mean, I know we've invested in some groups and we've got zero out of it, zero value out of it, and we're
Mm-hmm.
talking thousands and thousands of dollars that we've spent. And I mean, yeah, I mean, to your point, yeah, we've gotten scammed, we've gotten let down.
Right.
Is a perfect word from these programs that are out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, for the people in the comments, I want you guys to put a yes or no in the comments if you've been scammed before by an internet guru. And don't feel any shame. Sergio just told you that he got scammed out of some money. I got beat out of some money in my journey. I think it's dang near everybody who has a goal of getting financial freedom in a non-traditional way, right? You're not going to get it with that 4-year degree. So you've got to go out there and learn another skill. So you got to learn it from somewhere else other than a 4-year college, because that's a scam too. So I feel like everybody who's wants that and who has tried that has been scammed at least once. So drop a yes or no in the comments, y'all. I want to know. Mine is a yes. So Jonathan, talk to me, man, about your most difficult thing with this investing or getting
Man,
started even.
I mean, we have a lot of ups and downs in this journey, right? So, but
Mm-hmm.
this was, a little bit at the beginning of my journey when I was doing everything by myself. In some point, I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit because it was hard, So the only
Mm-hmm.
time that I had available, to fix those houses that I was flipping myself, it was after midnight, because that's the time that
Ooh.
I had available after my bartending job, right? So I was,
Mm-hmm.
going and painting the houses from like midnight until 3 a.m. and the next day just waking up again at 6 and going again and just for another 2 hours. So in some point, I was hating it, So I was like, okay, the
Ooh.
money was great, but no, I was hating it. I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Money's great, but again, so I don't want to be doing this forever, right? Because even the construction side, I didn't know. Actually, I don't know much about construction. I just look at a YouTube video how to paint houses, right? And that's how I was going and paint them myself, right? But yeah, man,
Wow.
that was a hard beginning, especially because it was a lot of work, because I was
Mm-hmm.
in the only man show, trying to create wealth, right? So that's that.
Yes.
Mhm.
A one-man show. Yep. I definitely get it. That's how most people start a one-man show. But you guys put yourselves out there, and even though there were situations where you didn't get the value that you thought you should, and you invested and worked hard for that money. Hell, when we want something, if we believe that we're gonna get it, then we're gonna find out the way to do it, right? And how we're gonna do it. You, for example, 12 to 3 a.m. I mean, doing whatever it took, So I love that, man. Now I've heard from outside sources that you and Sergio, the two of you guys, are some real estate hitters. in Dallas. You guys got some units. You guys are doing multifamily deals. Talk to me about some of your experience now. I know Sergio's from 2019 until today, and then Jonathan's got a little bit more experience. So talk to me about, some of your deals that you guys have done, man.
Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
I would like to start on that one because
Okay.
so when I went to this event where I met Sergio, right?
Mhm.
So my story was a little similar, right? So my fiance, she was telling me, hey man, just hey John, just go to that event, right? So this guy sounds legit, and I'm like, no, he's a guru, scam, right? I don't want to go. But she kept being persistent, right? So in order just to make her happy, I just decided to go, right? It's like, okay, baby,
Wow.
we'll go, just to make you happy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and I went there, I met Sergio, and actually, when I hear about multifamily, and I'm like, oh wow, this is awesome,
Hmm.
and actually, our mentor there, one of the he recommended, right, because even myself, I didn't like to be a landlord, right? So at that point, I own 8 single families, and I was thinking, like, when I came to that room, I was feeling like rich, like, oh my gosh, I'm really good on this,
You're
right? I
the
mean,
man.
did
Yeah.
it in 2 years or whatever, right? So, and then I start surrounding myself with people that they own thousands of units, and I'm like, wow, this is
Right.
crazy, right? So
Hmm.
I decide to just sell all my portfolio. So I sold all my
Wow.
portfolio, and then I invest passively in multifamily, right?
Nice.
That's how we were able to start making connections, right? Because in order for to open doors, right? So I need
Hmm.
to invest passively with these people that were doing it already, right? That's how actually they were taking us more serious, right? So
Right.
yeah, long story short, at that point I was like, yeah, if I figure this out about the single family space, I can also figure out the multifamily space.
Hmm.
Let's go all in on this, Sergio. That's what I told him, and we decided to just jump in.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that, man. That reminds me of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, where he tells the story of Cortez and how Cortez flew over, I believe it was to like South America, and was outnumbered, and his men were his men were outnumbered. And when he got to the shores, he burnt all of his boats so that there was no retreat. It's either you're either gonna die or you're gonna win, right? So it's one of the two. There is no plan B. So I love that, man. You sold your whole portfolio. That's definitely going all in, especially 8 single families in 2 years. That's a reasonable amount of properties, and that is a portfolio. We can start talking that language at that point. So I know it was kind of traditional, so you may not have been cash flowing like you wanted to and doing the landlord thing, which we're going to get to that difference, but man, it takes a lot. So what about you, Sergio, man? Talk to me about, because Jonathan said he owned 8 single families, right? And now you're in the multifamily space with him. Talk to me about your investing in your portfolio, man. What's that looking like now?
Man, I didn't before these 3 years, I didn't have anything to my name. Of
Mm,
course, my dad had a couple of properties, but I never considered those to be mine. I said, man, I gotta go get my own.
yep.
I can't just sit here and wait. You know, I hate to say it this way, but I said I can't sit here and wait until he transitions for me to start taking over and let those properties be mine. That was just the mindset that I had. I said I got to go get my own as a man was number
Hmm.
one. So I didn't have anything, man. I like to call myself the black sheep of not only of my family but in real estate because I catapulted straight into multifamily. I went straight into
Nice.
that. I don't even own a house right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as
Mm,
primary home. So
right.
I like to say that I'm a black sheep. I didn't have no real estate experience. And we went straight into owning 130 units
Hmm.
in Atlanta, Georgia. Then we went to Jacksonville,
Nice.
and we were involved in another portfolio that was in the 300s. And then we came back to Dallas, which was another 300 units. And we
Mm,
had 63 units in North Dallas, and then we closed as 133 in Arlington. So I'd like to say that me and John's portfolio is pretty. I mean, it is pretty high. We're
hmm.
extremely proud of it, and I'm just really proud of in that journey, in this 3 to 4 year journey. I learned a skill set of communicating with people more, learning
Yes.
how to raise capital and building trust with a lot of individuals,
Hmm.
and that's just something that allowed me to and just speaking on my behalf, it allowed me and just to really catapult into being able to close all these assets, right?
Man,
Really scaling together. So
yes,
I didn't know
that's
anything, brother.
glorious.
I didn't know
Yes.
anything till last 3 years, 3 or 4 years ago.
Rags to riches, so to speak. I mean, you
Yeah.
didn't own anything. You still don't own like a primary home that you live in. Me too, though. And I've got a
Yep.
portfolio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about this is just like a profession, right? It's an
Yeah.
entrepreneurial profession. So will I have many primary homes around the country? Yeah, just
Correct.
not right this second, so but having that capability and that willingness to take action. So that actually led you guys to the Go Getter family and the Go Getter family inner circle. And I remember seeing you guys are seeing, I believe it was Jonathan at the workshop, the first workshop in at the Arlington Board of Realtors that I did on asset protection. And I mentioned a little bit about what we do with real estate and kind of how we buy, how we help people that are in foreclosure most times. And Jonathan pulled up on me after that workshop and was like, "Hey man, now how do I get something more than what you were talking about here?" And I was like, well, we weren't talking about that, but you seem hungry. And Tommy introduced Jonathan as his multifamily guy. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. Talk to me real quick about Jonathan. What made you want to join the Go Getter family inner circle after having the success that you've already had? And before you start answering that, I want to tell the viewers, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments, whether it's for me, whether it's for Jonathan and Sergio, whoever, put them in the comments, put where you're from, and we'll get to it on the second part of the interview. So hit that like button and give me a follow if you don't already. But Jonathan, what was it that drew you to the Go Getter family inner circle, man?
Yeah, man, we're like all in into collaboration. We're all into mentorship. We're all in into we want to shorten our all the experience that you have, right? So and especially in a space that we didn't know anything, right? So we're like, hey, I'm really interested in listening to you guys, right? So even I told you the other day that we were doing our due diligence, right? Because that's something that we learned from being scammed in the past, right?
Yes.
So I watched a lot of the videos before we joined your group. Like the whole day just listening. I'm like, oh wow, this guy is really knowledgeable, right? And he knows something that we don't know, and we wanna learn that, right? So that's kind of like that thing that make us jump into partner up with you, right? Because we see this as a partnership, right? Because
yes,
you bring some knowledge and then we go and apply, and then our end goal is just to grow together always, right? So we just don't want to go and learn and take it and just do it on our own. We always wanted to grow together, right?
I love that. Yeah.
But just coming from this multifamily space, that we have quite some experience. I mean, not like crazy experience, but
Right.
Our philosophy and our goals is always investors first, tenants are first, right? So we want to make sure that even our investors that they come with us passively, they get pay first. Even
yes.
Our tenants, take care of our tenants, because we're able to also impact the communities, right? Sometimes we buy these apartment complexes that the previous ownership, they were not taking care of them, and they would just go on and fix them, and then just they are just happy, right? So we see that as a midterm, long-term investment, right? So because again, we want to make sure that our investors are being taken care of. So even we don't take any money, for 1, 2, or 3 or 4 years, even sometimes, because we want to make sure that everybody's taken care before us.
Yes.
And then just coming and partner with you is in these kind of deals, right? So is where we actually are taking care of the short-term income, right? So especially that we are doing this full time, right? So we just we went all in on this.
Oh, really? Okay. So you guys have been knocking down deals left and right. Now, I actually stopped in Fort Worth and talked to one of the sellers that we're joint venturing on a situation. So I love that, man. You guys go all in a lot. So, and I'm glad you're here, both of you, man. You guys are great additions to the Go Getter family, and we love to collaborate with our community members, especially the ones that are hitters like y'all. So that's awesome. Sergio, man. So when Jonathan came and kind of told you what his thoughts were and this crazy guy that he saw at the Arlington Board of Realtors, what did you think, man?
Well, I was actually I was there, man. I was sitting at the very front.
Mm,
I had to dip out right at lunch. So
okay.
once I dipped out because I had to go, we were walking a property that was going into foreclosure. So I was like, you know what, John, stay here. I'm gonna go walk the property or whatever. Walk me with the
Mhm.
seller. That's gonna be a potential lead. But when he called me out, I wrapped up my meeting. I was like, hey, bro, like I called him, I was like, hey man, everything's good. It went good. It looks like we're gonna make this one happen. She likes us or whatever. And then he's like, well, man, I got some good news for you, man. I just found out what the hell we've been missing. I was like, really? So he told me everything about you, and 2 days go by, and he's like, "Hey man, I just vetted this guy, man. I watched all his YouTube stuff, and it's fire. This is it. This is it. This is what we've been missing." So I was like, "Man," and once again, we're partners, right, in everything we do. So anything that he
Mhm.
says, I trust. He said, "Hey man, we need to do this. Well, let's
Yeah.
do it. Let's stroke that check or what do what we got to do to make
Yeah.
it happen. And if it's gonna benefit our business and what we got currently going on, then whatever." So I mean, I was excited. I was really, really excited. And I enjoy the name, the Go Getter. I mean, once I saw Go Getters, like, man, this is it. This is what
Yes,
we do. This is our community.
for
So
sure.
I was excited, Gene. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was really excited. And I like to consider John more the analytical and observant side of our partnership, our just how we roll, right?
Hmm.
Very analytical, and any of the judgments he made, I was with. And so
Yeah.
once he said this was it, I was like, man, we found it, and shit, let's do it, let's do it.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Gina, I would like to add a little bit because this is
Go
this
ahead,
is,
man.
and I told Sergio the other day, right? So I saw a sign, where they say, become your own bank, right? So
Okay.
and then, when I saw that sign, it's like, oh no, this is BS. This is infinite banking or some kind of
Mm,
insurance or whatever, right? So
yeah.
so I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, no. And then I just decided, hey, Gene, what is this? I was just curious, right?
I
So hey,
remember that.
what do you mean we become your own bank, right? That's when you start mentioning, yeah, foreclosures and all that. So okay, tell me more about it. I'm really interested, because it was like a shock for me. I was expecting you telling me about, yeah, I'm working with insurance companies. Let's just come and buy a policy or whatever, right? So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, the foreclosure thing, you were like, "Oh, okay, that sounds different."
And
Yeah, yeah, I
it's
love it.
funny, Gene, because you know what John told me. He said he was already walking out this door when he saw he was done. He was done. He was already walking out,
Mhm,
and he turned around and he saw that banking sign. So
mhm.
that was the only reason why he stopped. Other than that, who knows if we would have
What
been
would happen?
there.
Mm, that's crazy because you guys just told me a few days ago that you did 3 deals this month, and had you not had this strategy, the one deal that you had the traditional way didn't go through, so it would have been, no deals, right? So that, I mean, those a 2 millimeter shift or stopping and making a small decision, and then for Jonathan to be the type of person he is, where he's like, you know what, I'm going to ask this guy about it because the guy's right here. Some people may have wanted to ask and then just kept on going and never asked and never, gotten the opportunity that manifested itself to this moment. So that's huge, man. You got to be action takers. And man, I was excited when I had that conversation with you guys a couple of days later. I hopped on the Zoom with you two gentlemen and Jerry, Coach Jerry, and I was like, oh yeah, these guys are going to be awesome. So how has joining the community, the go getter family community, impacted your investment journey, and what specific benefit do you feel you've experienced up to this point?
Yeah, no, I see that as, we're telling you earlier this week that is, we feel like we 10x our journey. Simple as that. Just because,
Mm,
we're doing deals in the traditional way, right? Just making, cash offers to people that
mhm,
sometimes, different sources, right? But for example, these people that are going into foreclosures, sometimes even, we felt that we're taking a little advantage of the situation because,
mm,
again, we were kind of like, okay, this is the number that makes sense, right? Because we're still, fixing and flipping properties, right? So
right.
but then, just because these people, we didn't have any other offer, that was the only one, right? So that's
Okay.
the only way that we can buy this house, right? It need to make sense for us, right?
Yeah. And you're talking about with the traditional means of
Yeah,
financing the deal, right?
exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. And then, as soon as we start digging a little getting a little digging, and you started tell us how is that you work and the Go Get It family. Now we were able to actually offer, two different options to people, right? Where they get, more benefit, right? Because, some of these individuals, they are like, yeah, no, they just go with somebody else that offer $1 more. Simple as that,
Right.
right? And that's what happened in our deal that we lost this month. Somebody
Yeah.
a little more money, they decide to go on that one, and that's it. If we probably use the Go Get It family way, probably I'm sure we'll be closing that deal, right?
Okay. So yeah, it's allowed you to have more tools in your tool belt. I mean, being an entrepreneur is just being a problem solver. You know what I mean? And you two are in a good situation because Patrick Bet David says, and he's a great entrepreneur. He's the entrepreneur's entrepreneur. He says that we all need a running mate as an entrepreneur if we're going to hit levels that most people don't. And the running mate aspect, it's almost like a yin and yang type of thing. It's a visionary, that person that's out front talking to people, the kind of the face of the situation. And then there's the integrator, the person that's more analytical, that has the logistics of the behind the scenes and how those things are structured, paperwork's in order. I mean, both of those positions are equally as important as the other. So you guys both have that, man, and you're rocking and rolling because of it. So Sergio, I know you've been talking to a lot of sellers, and so what has joining the Go Getter family, changed for you and your traditional investing that you were used to?
What's funny? I mean, it goes back to a little bit of what Jonathan was saying, is having, man, just having all these different types of tools to be able to help people. Now I walk in confident, like shit. I'm so confident now. I walk in this door and I'm all like, okay, how are we gonna make this happen? It ain't, man. Yes. I hope it's not. I hope we're gonna make this happen. I hope it's the numbers make sense. It's literally, how are we gonna make this happen? Don't get me in that door, because if you get me in that door, it's over with. We're gonna make it happen. So now it's to the point where it's exciting, Gene. I mean, I want to get in the door. Get me in that door, and we're gonna make it happen one way or another.
Yes.
Regardless if the traditional numbers don't work, that's fine. Well, what do you? Let's see how much equity is in the deal.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of see what their pain points are. Let's see what the motivation is. And this is the stuff that you do learn in the training. It's a lot of it is psychological. Yes. So it's just coming in confident, and that's what it did to me, Gene. I mean, I do come in and break the ice for me and John when we talk to these families. Yeah. I'm really, really good at that. I'm really, really good at connecting with people. And then John just kind of backs me up with the facts of the numbers.
Right.
And we just kind of hit it off, and we kill it like that. We close individuals like that. And closing may seem like a negative thing to say, but in reality, once we close, it's a happy ending. Everybody's happy. Everybody, they get to move on. We even relieve that stress and that weight off their shoulders. So, yeah, that's really what it's done for me, Gene. And if I'm confident, then I'm able to help more families out. Me and John can move on. And now the 2 or 3 leads that we have a month, now we're doing 10 plus, which is why we call it a 10X, because that's really what it is. That's what it is.
Yes. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I mean, it honestly is, what you're able to do, but you guys are out there taking those action steps that you need to take. And so we're joint venturing on 2 deals, and these are beautiful. These are beautiful homes. They're both worth over 300,000. They both have over $100,000 in equity in them. One of them was 10,000 at acquisitions going to the seller. Right. And see, so this is what I loved about what you said. You're not going in there hoping anymore that the numbers fit, because you only have really one offer that you can make when you're going about it the traditional way of investing. You got the one offer. So you're going in with your fingers crossed, hoping that you can get something done. Now you're going in saying it's a matter of how are we going to get this done, right? What type of deal do we need to structure? What type of problem do we need to solve? Because we know that we can make it work. How are we going to make it work? I love that. And so these 2 deals that we're joint venturing on, sweet deals. I stopped in Fort Worth at the house. Jonathan surprises me when I pull up saying that the seller wants me to talk to the bank or wants somebody to talk to the bank. So he's looking at me. I guess I'm the big homie. So I'm like, run it, man. Let's go, you know? And so I talked to the bank and ended up the delinquent payments for that house. We got them put on the back end of the mortgage. We don't have to pay those to catch them up, but they are caught up. So that saved us close to $8,000 in the acquisition cost. It's going to cost us $10,000 to get in, and the house is worth $300,000, barely any repairs. You know, that was a hell of an experience, man. And that lady already loved you guys. So talk to me about, you know, the difference, I guess, you know, between traditional versus how I call it ethical capitalism. Everybody's being helped. I mean, that lady loved you guys. Her mother, who was Yaya, right, affectionately known as Yaya, made us coffee. She was making us rapes. Is that what they were called?
Arepas.
Arepas. Yeah, get me right. Arepas. Yes, for breakfast. So, I mean, imagine, you know, a situation like that where we're over there, you know, having coffee and breakfast, and we're literally buying this $300,000 house with no credit checks, no applications, no qualifying for debt, and we get to help these people, and we're going to make a lot of money off of it. You know, what has that meant for you, Jonathan? You know, with what your plans are and your goals are.
Yeah, man. I mean, and then I will start sharing that actually these people, they have been really grateful after, you know, they met us, right? So even they send us messages all the time like, hey, appreciate, you know, you guys helping me out. So thank you so much. You know, I'm so blessed to meet you and all those things, right? So that's a great feeling. That's a great feeling because, you know, sometimes again, coming back to the traditional way, you know, we just need to tell them like, okay, numbers don't make sense for a flip, so I'm sorry, we cannot help you out, right? So somebody else come and they scamming him, right? So that's how it is. And these people at the end, they lose the homes, right?
Yes.
So but right now, you know, by having them out offering, you know, a solution to the problem right now, that actually is we're creating a win-win situation.
Right.
You know, they're just making us feel way better right now, you know. So you know, we feel even more motivated, right? Because now we feel that we're really truly helping them, right?
Yes.
So creating a win-win situation.
Yeah, a win-win situation, man, for everybody. So you don't go off. We're not like typical real estate investors. We're not trying to steal equity and get a house, you know, that for super cheap, that where we're ripping somebody off. I mean, it is ethical capitalism. So Jonathan, you know, tell me one of the Go-Getter family's tools, man, no matter what it is, that was provided to you that has been most beneficial, you feel, for you, or had the biggest impact. Just give me one tool.
And it's the way that you explain actually how to speak with people, right? Because
really,
you know, before we didn't feel that confident to actually go in and having a conversation with them, right? Because maybe we didn't know how to explain them about, you know, take over, you know, like I give them a debt relief, right?
Yes.
So we didn't know how to explain them. It was so difficult from us, right? So these people were like, what do you mean you are taking over my mortgage? What is that? You know, that I don't feel really confident, right? So but right now, just going with the structure, how is that? Okay, you know, first, you know, tell them this, and then second, tell them this, and then the third one, and this is the fourth where you actually do the closing. So every time we're having a conversation, we just apply step by step what is you know, sharing the inner circle with the Go-Getter family. We just go and learn and apply it. Even you know, probably a lot of people think, okay, you guys did a lot, you guys have all this, why go and do something different, right? If it's working for you. But actually, you know, we always like to partner up, and you know, we're humble. You know, you are killing in this space, so we're like, okay, you know, let's forget what we know. Let's apply. Let's learn first, and then apply because it's already working for you. And actually, this is crazy, but yeah. However you explain everything, man, that works, and we are excited.
I love that, man. I love that, because the way that we negotiate, I mean, it's really a fundamental way to negotiate, just problem solution, right? And then a particular way to get there. So that negotiating can be used in any arena, any professional arena, any type of negotiating, not just real estate. So the tools that you guys are you learning here, coupled with what you already have, I mean, the sky's really the limit, you know. And you guys are like just soaking it in, like damn near like you were like me, like a damn hound dog. Like, just where's it at? Damn it, I want it. Where I want it, I want like that's how I was too. So I love it, man. I respect it. I really do. So Sergio, what about you, man? What was one tool or one thing that you got from the Go Getter family that you feel benefited you the most on this
You
journey?
know, I think John couldn't have said it any better. But one of the things that I really truly am blessed for is, man, it's the contracts, brother. It's
Mm,
we're protected and how we're protecting ourselves. The knowledge of transferring everything into a trust. I mean, that's the goal that nobody tells you about, that teaches you. In today's world, we don't know any better, and it's just really the contracts when it comes to the end of the day, protecting ourselves
yeah.
from anything and everything that can come back and haunt us and just really take us apart. I think that's
Hmm.
just something that it's super super important. I mean, John, how many times have we gone to a property, and we go and we help families out, and even after they sign contracts, we're like, hey, well, if you don't mind, if you want a second opinion on what you signed because you are Latino, we would love to back you up and see what you signed.
Hmm.
People are signing crap. Most of that
Right.
crap is not really, they can't really stand on two legs with that. Not
Hmm.
really effective. It's not they're and it's just us knowing that all these other contracts out there ain't working. It kind of just makes me think, man, damn, I know we're protected. Anything we sign on paper,
Right.
we're locked in. Ain't nobody gonna come, behind us trying to sweep our deal off from under us. Not only that, but
Yes.
I just feel totally confident once we sign that paperwork that we're very, very much protected, because it can be, I mean, people that are doing, and this, Gene, people that are doing this other ways. I mean, it
Hmm.
can get a little messy. There's a bad name to people that do what we do, and it's
Yep.
because they're doing it wrong.
Exactly,
So
man.
I'm blessed that we're protected on what John just said, the script on how to talk to these people,
Hmm.
and really just when it comes down to the contracts, it's a complete package.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because we this type of investing for people like me, for people like the two of you, it's really a gift from God. You know what I mean? Like it's a gift from the heavens to be able to buy assets worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and not have to go ask a bank permission, qualified debt to income ratios, W-2s. I mean, we don't have to do that. We just have to help people. And so the people that are out here that aren't doing this correctly, that can cause pain and damage down the road for sellers, that gives us a bad name and it makes it harder for us. So we need more people like y'all that are out there shaking and moving and learning how to do this right and following the system. So I'm super glad that you brought that up. So we got negotiating, and then we got the paperwork, man. Those are two major principles with the Go Getter family. I love it. I love it. So guys, if you have any questions for me or for Jonathan or Sergio, put them in the comments. Put where you're from, if you will. We like to know that, and we'll answer a couple questions. But before then, I'm going to give you guys some time to drop those questions in there if you have any. I want you guys to give one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who's watching that may be an experienced real estate investor, or maybe they're like Sergio was, new, and wanting to get into investing. What is one piece of advice that you would give them each? Well, let's start with Jonathan, man. Go ahead.
All right. So in this case, it's trust the process, right? So it's
Mm,
trust the process because Go Get a Family, even before we joined the family, we did our due diligence, right? So we
mhm,
looking at watching videos, making sure it's legit. We were asking around and all those situations, right? So after we got all day, because we have even a criteria, right? So we just don't
mm,
join whoever offers something that sounds good, right? No, we have
right.
a criteria, right? So
Mhm,
then, your group and everything now that we're part of, right? So you join the criteria. So I consult with Sergio. So we decide to join. And
mhm.
then it was not like, we already had our mindset, right? So we were just going and apply, anything you
Yes.
want to do, we just went and apply, right? So
Mhm,
even, because sometimes even the egos, right? So, okay, I know more than you, or you know more than me in this space, but in
mhm,
this situation, it's like, man, you guys are killing it here. So I'm just gonna trust the process. Whatever you tell me, Gene, even that we did some quite stuff in the other side, right? Let's
Hmm.
go and apply, because that's something where we're gonna be learning by applying and trusting the process.
Yes. I love that you said that, man, because people, I even, had a difficult time doing that same thing, man, that you just said, trusting the process, not thinking that, oh, I know more in this area, negotiating or whatever area. And what it did for me was not trusting the process actually slowed me down a bit, and it kind of fogged up my vision of what was going to be, right? And what I was going to build, the Go Getter family even into, not trusting a process and just taking bits and pieces. And the moment that I surrendered myself and my ego and said, what I'm learning from my mentor is the way. And what I knew before, what I thought I knew, or what I thought I wanted to adjust and change, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm surrendering myself, setting my ego to the side. And that was the moment for me where my vision even got clearer, where I could see what the future held, for the Go Getter family and for my investing business. So man, that's super important. And you guys are following it to a T. And you guys have been in the inner circle for what, a month?
Actually, yeah, yesterday was a month.
Yesterday was a month. Okay. And you got 3 deals right now that you're working using the buying free foreclosures method. So this is looking great, man. I love that. I love that. So Sergio, what about you, man? What's one piece of advice that you'd give the viewers that are in your shoes, or maybe experienced investors even?
Yeah. This just goes out to everybody. Like whether you're watching the live right now and you're thinking about joining the program, or if you're already in the program and you just kind of need some type of guidance, or whether you're experienced, it doesn't matter. I think at the end of the day, going back to just the coaching programs. I mean, me and John have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on coaching programs. At the end of the day, I will vouch and say this is an amazing one. And if you're in this, or you're thinking about getting into it, man, guys, you just got to really just put in the work. You got to do the legwork too. You can't just buy a program at whatever cost and expect for it to happen or to find, in your lap and be like, okay, well, here are the foreclosed homes. You can go out there and get the list, but you got to pick up the phone and you got to dial. You got to go knock on those doors. You got to do all that to make it happen for it to be effective.
Yes.
When you do that, then the opportunities are there to grow. And it doesn't matter if it takes you a month. Going back to John, trust the process. It might take a month. It might take two. Till you get to some momentum, but you will get it eventually. And you got to just keep staying focused and just get after it. It work. The formula works. Everything works. The resources work. The contracts work. They're all legit. Trust it. Do it. And just put in the work. It's as simple as that.
Yep, I love that too, man. Because I mean, one, if we want to get a different result that we can't currently get right now, that's okay that we can't get it. We just have to develop some skills that we don't currently have. But in developing those skills, we have to implement it, right? We got to go out and we got to get it. That's why it's called the Go Getter family. I'm going to give you the right information, tools, tactics, resources, even the support. But you've got to be the one that takes action. And you guys are unique in that, you came in with the right type of mindset, with a lot of experience already and doing deals. So you were able to hit the ground in an implementation mode. It was kind of learning as you go because you're able to pick it up quicker. So we can't compare ourselves time wise. We should look at you all as kind of the I hit my damn mic.
There goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a I can do it just
We can hear you.
I'm still on. I can do it just like they did it, but we're different people. So you guys are like the goal, man. If you guys can do it, that means that anybody is able to do it. So I love that. I love that. It looks like we have a question down here for you guys from Tiff and Tad. Tiff and Tad are our current go-getters of the year. You guys, it looks like you guys are going to be a little competition maybe now. So I love that. I love that. And they're partners, they're a married couple. So their question is, as a dual partner, how do you determine which roles you play in your partnership? Great question.
Very, very simple. I'm gonna start first, and then John can give his comment. But it's we are so me and John. The reason why we're great business partners is because we are the complete opposites. Everything that he's good at, I suck at. Everything that I'm great at, he sucks at. And maybe not suck, but let's just say it's not his skill. It's
Mhm.
Right.
it's not his bread and butter, right?
Hmm.
So to answer your question, for the tad, or I'm sorry, for the clumps, um, really, I mean, John handles a lot of the organization side of things. I do a lot of the calls or the interactions with the individuals.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like he's doing a lot of the admin back end work of the organization of the contracts, making sure we're organized and the proper things do get filled out. I'm
Yeah.
more in the field doing the door knocking, the cold calling, and breaking the ice with the distressed owners. So
Hmm.
go in there and spearhead that. Once I do that, he comes in and backs me up with all the paperwork, sends me off, make sure everything gets notarized. Now that we do have a mobile notary, he comes with us and we get everything lined up. Once we go back, he just basically helps me close them. I mean, in a sense, we go back with the facts and say, hey, well, look, listen, this is what we can do. I
Hmm.
mean, we basically close together. I mean, but
Yes.
we do a little bit of everything. He does a lot of everything too. But
Hmm.
kind of the lead roles that we do take on this is I do a lot of the interactions with the sellers at first. He does all the admin and paperwork and make sure we're aligned there. And that's honestly what I suck at. I'm not an organized
Hmm.
individual. I'm a scatterbrain,
Yeah.
but you can put me to talk, in front of someone, I'll talk all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Jonathan, man?
Yeah, and this is this partnership. We didn't figure out, over time. Like it took us time, to figure out
Mm.
what is the skill set of each individual, right? Because even, I mean, we have been partners for, more than 3 years, right? So
Mhm.
even at the beginning of our partnership, we were trying to do everything, together, right? Like I was forcing Sergio to do something that is not his skill set. I was doing something that was not my skill set, right? And then
Mm.
later on we didn't see much results, right? We saw it, we're stuck because I was trying to force Sergio to do something, so it was slowing down, right? I need to wait for him to catch up in something, or vice versa, right? So it was the same
Mhm.
like that. But then I started, we started knowing each other more, and we started kind of like, hey, man, actually you're really good on this, right? We all the time we
Mhm.
say to each other, hey, man, you are really good on this. And Sergio is like, yeah, you're really good on this, right? So it took us a little time, but then after we figured out, and they're like, man, just do this. I'll respect
Yep.
you because that's your role. I'll do this. Let's split it that way. And man, that was a game changer like that. It was, we started
Yes.
moving faster. We started seeing more results. We started accomplishing the goals in the half of maybe a quarter of the time that we were expecting, right? And then
Mm.
we just keep focusing in just even be better on those skill set, right? Because now
Mhm.
I don't need to go out and learn something new. Like for example, Sergio is he does a lot of the construction, right? So
Mhm.
I trust him, right? So if I need to learn something, I just ask him. But he's like, man, what is that's your role? That's what you know. So I believe
Yes.
100% in you, right? And all those situations, right? Or when I calculate the numbers, they're just like, man, I go with your word. I trust you. So,
Yep.
we trust each other, and then we define the roles, right? That if Sergio make a decision, I'll support him. If I make a decision in my role, he support me. So, and yeah,
Mhm.
that's how it is.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean trial and error, and then finding out what each other's good at, focusing on that. And it seems like Sergio kind of opens it up, and breaks the ice, gets the people to agree to move forward, establishes that rapport, gets the trust, and the confidence in y'all's competence. And then you come in, Jonathan, already doing the work on the back end and kind of shore up or bring the facts and the how-to of what Sergio has already presented, So I feel like that builds more confidence, because I kind of saw that when I was at that seller's house just a few days ago. I was over there and we shored that thing up. We stopped the auction. We stopped the bank from calling them. And I wanted to show this house here real quick, what she looks like. This is a pretty nice house. This is just one of them. This is in Fort Worth. This was the house that I was at with them. Beautiful home, great homeowners as well. Just hit a difficult place in life. This house is beautiful, man. And I could see the trust that you guys had gained, which was amazing, and the dynamic. So that was a great question. Tiff and Tad, great question. So beautiful deal too. We had another question here. Here we go. How do you get the money put on the back end? I think that was one of the things that blew Jonathan's socks off too. Jonathan and Sergio, like, what? We don't have to catch up those back payments? Well, so with certain types of mortgages, which most of them government backed, FHA, VA, stuff like that, we have loss mitigation options that we're able to use, but we use like a certain type of language when we call in and talk to the bank, because the banks are going to try to play hardball, but we know that they are mandated to at least give you the application process on these options, and that will stop the auction. So we go through that loss mitigation process, and one of the options is just putting it on the back end and waiting until the underlying loan is paid off. Another one is where they restructure it and they add the delinquent amount to the existing loan. So either way, what we're looking at is just stopping the auction and then being able to just start making those payments again in a month and not have to pay the delinquent amount. That's the bread and butter for us, because it saves us so much money on acquiring the deal. I mean, if you can get into a deal where you don't need to catch up the 30,000, 40,000, 20,000 that the seller's behind, but you do take care of it, that just gives you more wiggle room and ability on your disposition. I feel like that was a huge game changer for the two of y'all. So,
and I remember talking to John and man, shit, even the first deal we were like, damn, hey man, where are we gonna go raise this money? Like, we got to go raise this money, and just trying to think about, like how we're gonna catch up the delinquent amount when, like you said, the bread and butter here is not even doing that. Not coming in with zero money. When me and John are just so used to coming in with, how much capital do we got to go raise, or how much do we got to pull out to make this work? And I think that was a really, really, really huge game changer for us. We're like, man, that's where the mind was blown. We're like, man, we ain't got to worry about none of that.
Right.
That's crazy. So
yes,
phenomenal,
beautiful thing. Yes, beautiful thing.
That's why I told you, Gene. Like, man, 10x. Your methods. The Go Get It family. You guys 10x our journey, because, like Sergio just said. We were really used to, every single deal we need to invest money. That's as simple as that, right? Even in multifamily, in the fix and flips and all those things, right? So, so we need to wait. Right, so we need to wait until it was a full cycle, right? We need to wait until we fix and we sold the property, right, and then just go in and repeat the same process, right? So, but again, okay, that's great money, good returns and everything, but how you can still scale this? How can you grow even quicker, right, faster, right? But now with this method, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, wow, this is crazy, man. This is, honestly, I told Sergio many times, like, man, this is one of the best, mentorship programs that we join. Even we have been in way many, over $100,000+ invested in.
Oh wow.
Programs, right? So So yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. It's really, it's the from the mud strategy. I came up with that out of necessity. It's like, man, I got to do something different. I got these opportunities. I don't got the money. How am I gonna make it happen? And so, but then I just systematized it, man. And you guys are now some of the many that are implementing. So I definitely appreciate it. Let me get this question here. What certain qualities did you see in one another that made you want to partner up together? Ooh, that's a good one too. Abang is a inner circle member as well. So you guys met at a workshop. So that's a great question.
Let's start
Yeah.
just start.
Yeah,
Well,
so
sir.
one of the first things that kind of hit it off for me personally, just because it gets a little personal. When I went to that event in Miami, um, I was probably one of the Mexicans out there, one of the only ones out there. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a lot of minority people out there. So when I met another Latino, in that room that wanted to grow, that was hungry, that wanted to succeed, um, I just kind of knew right off the bat, okay, cool. There's somebody there's a first of all, there's another minority in this group. In this
Mm-hmm.
group. Let me continue to collaborate with this individual. Let me stay in contact with them. Another thing, as me and Jonathan just kind of started talking more, um, I started seeing that our morals were there.
Right.
We had the same morals. We both came from similar backgrounds. Obviously, he came from Colombia. I would personally say that he had his life a lot more worse than me. But
Mm-hmm.
the poverty that we've both seen through our families and what we were living, as minorities, just kind of set it off for me. And I was like, you know what, this is a guy that understands what it's like to be in this country. And you just kind of you get tugged here from there. Especially me just being a first gen. It's kind of hard to feel accepted when you're brown in this country, and then going back to Mexico, they know I'm an American. They said, hey man, you're from over there, and
Right.
we both just kind of aligned a lot, with our values and what our morals are in life and how we want to grow and where we want to get. It just aligned perfectly, and that led us to really just collaborate very well. Just not to give up, to give it everything we got. I mean, he even inspired me to quit my job. He's like, hey man, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, dog. I'm waiting for you. I'm out.
Yes.
Now it's your time, and that was very hard to do. Leave the family business to invest 100% in real estate. But after doing that, it just we saw the difference right away, man. I was all in, he was all in, and it was just game over from there.
Yes. Yes. Being able to go in 100%. That's a scary move to make, though, man. I love that. I
That's what
love
partners
that.
do, push each other. I mean, he told me, hey man, you got it, you can do it. I'm like, man, well, let's go.
Yes,
I made that
sir.
jump. So that's what partners do, though. That's how I knew, I had a real one by my side. Is push, you pushed me too. So
Yeah, yeah. So it sounds like you found something in common, at that event, and kind of made that introduction then, and then you saw that you guys kind of had the same morals and integrity, and then just went further, but it's based off of that networking and putting yourself out there. So did you have something to add, Jonathan?
Yeah, I would like to add, like, I mean, we were involved in actually a lot of partnerships, right? In these 3 years,
Hmm.
right? We had different partners, and they just coming and going. People that just feel motivated for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? So,
Hmm.
and then so because they probably don't take enough action, or maybe it's a longer term investment, right? So it's just about keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it until you get
Hmm.
results, right? So
Hmm.
we already knew that we just need to keep going, because sooner
Yes.
or later the results are going to come, right? So we didn't care about how long it's going to be taking, right? So but we knew,
Yes.
because again, from our mentors, right? Hey, you guys keep doing this, and we were listening, applying, just keep doing it. You don't see
Hmm.
results, just keep pushing, the results will come. And
Yes.
actually we got them, right? So we
Hmm.
just listen and apply, right? And actually
Yes.
listening it actually does skill set, right? Shut up
Yes.
and listen, shut up and listen and apply it, right? Because
Mm.
again, something that we learn in this journey is that sometimes in some point you start seeing results, right? And then you are like, oh, I think I know enough. Now I'm gonna do it in a different way, right? And
Mm.
actually, it's when you start slowing down, right? So, but now we
Yes.
just keep the same way, right?
Hmm.
And actually, we just keep growing exponentially, right? So that's how it
Yes.
is. That's how it is. But yeah, I mean, I saw something in Sergio there about, again, he has some knowledge and that I don't have. We have same mindset. I see that he keep going even if, because this hasn't been perfect.
Right.
We were like in a bad situation many times, right? Economically and all those things, right?
Hmm.
Personally, right? Because like in 3 years, a lot of things happen, right? And
Hmm.
we just like keep pushing each other, right? Sometimes Sergio is down, hey man, like let's talk about your personal stuff. Maybe I'm down, and Sergio just call me, and keep, because Sergio is the, so I speak with Sergio every single day, right? So that's how it is. Every single day we're
Yes.
speaking, right?
Yep.
He doesn't text me. I'm like, hey man, what's going on with you? Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's how it is. But we always sit down. We talk about goals. We focus in the day to day, right? So okay, what is today? Let's apply this, right? Tomorrow again, let's go and apply it again, right? So we don't like to really focus in a long term or really like goals like that, because
Hmm.
a lot of things can happen, right? We just focus in the
Right.
day to day, right? Just
Yes.
making sure that our brain get used to win, because we're focusing on a really that short-term goal, right? Like
Yeah.
even sometimes 12 hours, right? Okay, let's, by 2 o'clock we need to do this, right? And then
Hmm.
we do
Hmm.
it, and then our brain is just like, man, we're killing it, let's keep going. So it's just
Yeah.
taking advantage of the momentum, and
Absolutely.
it's just like that. So something that we apply, and again, we learn through this journey, and man, that's
Hmm.
how it's game changer.
That's a huge tip. That's a huge tip, and a lot of people might not even have noticed that, man. But we literally have to manipulate ourselves into believing that we can win, truly believing it to a point where we feel that emotion that you just articulated, right? Like, hey, we got to get this done by 2, and then we're on to X. And so by the time 2 o'clock comes around, you got that done, and you're like, oh hell yeah, man, I'm ready to go get this thing that we were supposed to hit next. And so it's that momentum and it's that energy, because success is attracted. We have to attract success. We have to attract money. We don't pursue it. And so our goals, just like deals, we have to take it in component pieces. What is in front of me that I need to complete that's going to get me to the next phase of getting to my goal? Because when we ask ourselves, how am I going to get, hundreds of units in one deal? If I ask myself how, I'm looking at the whole thing trying to get it in one bite, and that's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's what do I need to do right now? Right? What do I need to do that's going to get me closer to that component pieces, man? I love that. I love it. So let's take one more question, man. I'll let you guys out of here. This is a good question. This is from Victor. Victor is one of the hitters in the group too. He's one of my one-on-one students. Him and his brother Gerardo, they're doing a bunch of deals. Just got some money this weekend too, so that's great. What method do you guys use to raise capital if needed? Great question. Great question. Go ahead, fellas.
Love it, love it. I will start on that one. So again, it took a little time, right, in order to be successful in that space, right? At this point, we raised millions of dollars, right?
Mhm,
So, and I'm not
mhm.
even shy to say, over 5 million since we started on this, in a
Nice.
multifamily, in a single family, fixed fleet space, and everything, right? But
Mhm,
this came through, again, trying and trying, and then okay, no results, let's change it, let's switch it. But then
mhm,
as soon as we found this answer: focus your
mhm,
business, and provide value, and all the rest is gonna come later back to you as a
mhm,
blessings, as a result, right? So we start out
mhm,
focusing our business in provide value to people. So we
mhm,
decide to create a community. We decide to create a
mm.
community actually every single week since the last year and a half, right? So every year and a half, we found a community. So
Nice.
we have like a podcast every single week, right? So
Nice.
bring people that they have a lot of knowledge in real
Yeah.
estate, a lot of experience, and they just come to share their thoughts, their journey.
Mhm,
Then
mhm.
we have over 50, 60, 100 people just plus coming to the live call on Zoom, and then just we just focus that call in just providing value. So people
Right.
feel really grateful, and then in those calls we are sharing our journey. Okay, this is what we're doing right now, and this is what it
Mhm,
is. And people start reaching out like, hey, I want to be close with you guys. Tell me a little bit more about you. They build a lot of trust and credibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
We also sometimes we do calls, we are educating them, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
educating them about real estate, multifamily, and all those things. So
Mm-hmm.
in order to be successful in the capital raising world, there are two components. It's
Mm-hmm.
a trust and understanding,
Mm.
right? So we're building the trust through having them come in every single week and listen to us and be us. We're not trying to show a different face or anything. This is actually us. The same people that you guys
Right.
are right now are the same people every single time, everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the knowledge it just come by actually those calls where we bring people again, just teaching them, right? So, and
Yes.
if you think about it, it's easier to build credibility by
Mm-hmm.
somebody that we invite because they're already
Mm-hmm.
saying that, hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming here. I know you guys are killing in this space. So we get
Mm-hmm.
a third party proving that actually we're taking action and we're killing it. So that's
Yes.
that I would like to add to this.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. And it almost falls right into my ACEs system of awareness, right? Awareness. So you're making people aware of what you do, who you help, and how you help people. And then credibility and counseling. You're taking people on that journey with you by having those live calls. It's building that credibility for y'all because you're in deals. And then the E, educating. So you're doing some educating. And then the S, securing the bag. They're throwing money at you at that point. I mean, hell, truth is universal, man, and that laid it out right there. I love that. That's amazing. And everybody who's in the Go Getter Family inner circle has the information that, if taken in the right way, can do just what y'all said and what y'all are doing on their own with people that they've met, that they've gained credibility with their power statement and networked with. I mean, dude, that's a recipe, man. I love that. I love it. Did you have something to add, Serge?
Yeah, just a little bit to that. I mean, I think John nailed it right on the head, and I think once you kind of start getting the momentum, I mean, social media is huge. Like, one of the ways that I've gotten to raise quite a few capital is because I do have quite a few followers. And just posting and getting out there, showing what I'm doing, even if it's just walking a property and saying that I'm saving another house or the construction. You know, you start to kind of get people's attention when you do that after a couple of months. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I had a girl that I met at a bar even before I got into real estate that I had on social media. And she's a nurse. She so happened to be a nurse. She's got some money set aside. And once she started watching me all this time on social media, she finally said, "Hey man, I see what you're doing. I've been watching you these last 2 years. You know, what do how do I get in?" I was like, "Well, how much you got to play with?" You
Mm-hmm.
in the matter of 24 hours, luckily we had a deal going on and she dropped 50,000 just like that. Yeah. And it may take some time, but
Right.
I mean, just being out there, not being desperate about raising capital, not being desperate about, I got this deal, I need the money now. You're
Mm-hmm.
cool about it. You come, hey, I got this deal. You interested? I know you've been watching. I know we've talked about it in the past. I'm calling you because you reached out to me in the past. You went in or out before I go to the next individual. Some are
Yep.
going to be like, yes. Others are going to be like, nah, you know what? I'll keep you, I'll give you a holler when I'm ready. Cool. On to the
Mm-hmm.
next one. As long as you have that attitude and you're not coming trying to force them and trying to say, well, come on, well, what's wrong? Or why not? Then you'll be
Mm-hmm.
fine. But once you start
Exactly.
being if you just approach it that way, you'll be able to be successful doing that. And it takes
Yep.
time.
Yep. Being active. Yeah. Being active, doing some things out there, not being desperate about it. You know what I mean? And then some people will, some people won't, but it's all good because somebody's waiting for us. So, hey, you just keep it pushing, man. I love that. I love that. So, one last word from you guys. I don't want to hold you guys too long. So, man, I'm going to give you guys one last word and then we're going to get out of here. But this has been great. Loved it. Go ahead, Jonathan, man. What do you got for the people before we
Yeah,
get out of
man.
here?
We're having a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, man. That was a really really amazing conversation that we're having here. We can go all night, sharing our journey, and then the real reason why we like to share our journey is because we want to show people that it's possible, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I came to this country again 6 years ago. I was working as a bartender, right? And now we're doing like a big things, right? But my goal
Mm-hmm.
is always just to push people. Hey, you can do it. If I did it, you can, right? So just keep going. Just you
Mm-hmm.
have questions, man. I'll give you some homework. If you do it, come back.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, I mean, that's it. Don't burn bridges with me, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people saying, "Yeah, I will do this and that," and at the end, it's like, and then Gene, you are busy guy, right? As soon as when we start involved in big things, you start getting like your time becomes more valuable, right? So I want to make sure that
Hmm.
I really structure my day and my time, right? So,
Hmm.
but yeah, this year, my last comment is that with Sergio we decide to go all in our own personal, right, in our self, self worth,
Development.
self
Yep.
worth, right?
Hmm.
So we start focusing a lot on that, and then start working and taking care of our reading, dieting and workout and all those things,
Mm.
man. And that was actually a game changer, right? Because
Really
yeah,
nice.
yeah, I probably, Sergio lost, a lot of pounds. I lost a lot of pounds. It's funny you guys see pictures from last year, but yeah,
Mm.
now we're feeling good with ourselves. The energy is high. So we want
Yes.
to make sure that we do the hardest thing at the beginning of the day to start the day right, and actually that's waking up early, right? So
Yes.
yeah, that's something that
Yes.
we do. That's the hardest thing to do, man. That's still
Hmm.
hard for, and you guys understand this, right? But waking up at 4 a.m. just to go and work in
Ooh.
yourself, just about reading,
Mm.
meditating, go to the gym at 5, that's as soon as you come back from the gym and you take a shower, man, you feel that you are gonna conquer the world, that nobody's gonna
Yes.
see you.
Yep.
So that's my piece of advice, right? Just work in yourself, because if you focus in your health, again, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna look better, you're gonna be making more connections, right? So you're gonna start
Hmm.
making it just like a cycle,
Domino
right?
effect.
The health,
Yeah.
health, the money, and also connections, right? Those things
Hmm.
are the most important things for me. But that was
Mm.
a game changer. Energy
Love
is
that.
energy is everything.
Yes, I love that, man. I love it. And it can neither be created nor destroyed, just converted from one form to another, right? So, yeah, I love that, man. Discipline too. So, well, that was a great piece of advice. Sergio, what do you got, man, for the people before we get out of here?
Yeah, really quick. Before I got into all this, I was just outside. I was in the mix. I was getting drunk. I was, hanging out with all these women and just being out, in the scenes. And people always ask me, do you regret anything that you did? Because I was known to party real hard,
Hmm.
and to be out there. And I said, you know what? I don't regret that because I got it out of my system. I think if I would have never done that, I would have never been where I am today. But
Hmm.
if I would have done one thing different in my early 20s, because I am 29 years old, I
Hmm.
said I would have hung out around I wish I would have hung out around the people that I am today. Back in my early
Mm.
20s, I would have influenced me in a positive way.
Mm.
So that being said, guys, continue to just be in this community. If you're not in it, get in it, and if you're already in it, keep coming around every Wednesday in the inner circle. Being around these type of energies can impact you in a very positive way, and to keep you that fire up every week. I used to have
Hmm.
problems with that, having that fire, that spark every week until, now it just became normal. So if you're struggling with that, keep coming every Wednesday. Let that be your spark. Let that be that motivation that you're going to have every Wednesday night when you get on that call to keep
Hmm.
going. Once you do that, then eventually it's going to be a normal thing. Like you're fired up. You don't need no motivation. You're just going to be very, very not even motivated, but inspired to go out there and go get it. Right.
Mm.
So that being said, my advice to you guys is keep killing it. I mean, just keep joining, keep coming, keep showing up every day in the inner circle. The resources are there. I am telling you, these resources are there, guys. It's crazy. Y'all have no idea that how lethal this stuff is. It is there, guys. Just go out there and go get it,
Hmm.
literally, and find those deals and use the resources that Gene's got for us. And I swear this is gonna be worth it. Once you get the first one in, it's gonna be like a drug. You're gonna be craving that feeling of wanting to get more and more and more, but you do got to put in the work to get there.
Yep.
That's my
Yep.
advice.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know you were only 29. Now, when I saw you, because you do look older on like social media or through camera, but then when I saw you in Fort Worth, I was like, now this little motherfucker kind of young. That's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
good thing, dude. You haven't even hit your damn prime yet, man. And
yeah.
so the positions that you're putting yourself in, the rooms that you're putting yourself in, the knowledge that you're putting yourself around and then gaining. Oh my goodness, dude. Holy smokes. You're going to be great. Like, shit.
Hey, we're trying, man. We're trying.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you still got plenty of time, man. I thought you were older, so that's a good thing. That
Yeah.
it was based off of what I had saw, that I thought you were older. So that says a lot, man. So putting yourself around these types of situations, I mean, it's really priceless at the age that you're at. You know what I mean? So I'm super happy for you. And I appreciate you guys coming on tonight, sharing your journey, sharing your stories. You guys heard how this Dallas duo has 10x their real estate investing since joining the Go Getter Family Inner Circle. If you guys want to learn more about how you can join the Go Getter family, there's some links down in the description, and you can set up a strategy call with our very own executive coach, Coach Jerry. Talk to him, see how we can help you. Just go in there, click that link. Guys, how can the people follow you on your social medias? And then we'll also get them added to the description too, but go ahead and shout that out real quick so that the people can go over there and follow you guys.
Awesome. Okay, I will start. You guys can find me on Instagram as Johnny Araque, JonyAraque. You guys can find me like that on Instagram. Same on Facebook, Johnny Araque. And then for our podcast, you guys are interested, you can find us in Spotify as the Cash Flow Empire Show.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, the Cash Flow Empire Show. You guys can find us over there like that. So you can listen amazing episodes there, right? Just people sharing knowledge. And yeah, same in YouTube. You guys can find us like that.
Okay, nice. Okay. I might have to come bomb your guys' podcast one day.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome. What about you, Serge? How can the people find you, man?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Cashflow, which is like how you spell it out, Cashflow_cowboy. That's with 2 Y's. So that's Cashflow_cowboy with 2 Y's. Very active on there. We post a lot of our journey. I mean, we try to stay as active as possible. A lot of it can be kind of funny. A lot of it is real estate. A lot of it is just very diversified. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
You get to kind of see what you get on that IG. And then my Facebook is Sergio Aguilar, which is just my first and last name, Sergio Aguilar. As simple as that. And I mean, that's it. Johnny gave you the gems on the YouTube and on the Spotify. So you can check us out on there too.
Nice. And I'll get those links from you guys, or have Coach Jerry grab them from you, and I'll get them added to the description. So if you guys are watching this on the recording, the links to follow Jonathan and Sergio or check out their podcast will be in the description. I advise you guys to go check them out. They're shaking and moving out there in Dallas, and then they're adding these new skill sets and taking action with them and getting results already, man. 3 houses in the first 30 days. So the sky is the limit for these guys. I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I'm excited about the 2 deals that we're already doing, and I'm excited about the future. Oh, and one last thing too before I go. Now, Jonathan because I have a How to Break the Real Estate Money Code workbook, man, that is it's a gem. And Jonathan was on me about it. He was like, hey, how do I get this workbook? How do I get this workbook? I'm like, listen, you can only get that if you come to a live event. We had our last live event, but Jonathan and Serge were out there taking action, and they were in the trenches. So these 2 are the first to buy pre-tickets to our August 9th and 10th workshop that we're having, How to Break the Real Estate Money Code. So I gave them the workbook a little bit early for that. You guys prompted me to hurry up and get some dates set and get that thing rolling. So whoever comes to the event, you can thank Sergio and Jonathan for the early dates, man. But
let's do it.
You guys,
appreciate the love, man.
I can't wait to see you guys down here, man. We'll be seeing you guys back in Dallas soon anyway, but I appreciate you guys, man. And for the viewers, don't forget, hit that like button. If you guys feel like we brought you some value today, I want you to consider subscribing, but we're going to get on out of here. So till next time, let's get to it, y'all.
I'm a go